Hey everybody, this is LG's G1 OLED TV, brand new for 2021. One of the best TVs I've ever tested. The problem? It ain't cheap. So OLED TVs have the best picture quality of any television, but they're expensive to begin with, and this G1 is even more expensive. This is a 65-inch version here. There's also a 77 and a 55-inch version. This 65 is $500 more than the mainstream C1 series for 2021 that LG makes. The difference? This G1 has a gallery design, really slim, great looking on the wall, and it also has a new Evo panel. That's right, a brand new OLED panel exclusive to this television in LG's lineup. We'll get to all that in a minute. Let's talk about design though. This thing is really, really nice looking, but really it's designed to be hung on the wall. So you see this stand here, these little legs? LG doesn't include them in the box. The only reason this thing is here is because there's another $100 worth of legs that you have to buy separately to attach it if you want to put it on this stand right here. So this comes in the box. It's actually a specific wall mount just for this television. There's instructions and everything for connecting it to your wall. Comes with screws, even a template. Generally at a TV this expensive, you're gonna pay a pro to hang it. I didn't hang it here for this video, but when I was at CES a couple years ago, LG debuted a TV just like this. You can see here it's super duper thin when on the wall. So that's really what you're going for, is this ridiculously thin look. Hugs the wall. This thing sticks out only 1/8 of an inch from the wall. Yes, less than an inch from the wall this TV is. That's unique among any television out there. Again, if you're wall mounting, this is really the nicest, most minimalist, sleekest look you're gonna get. Is it worth the extra money? Well, you can hang a standard OLED TV on the wall and it's super thin too, and it looks really good. And unless you're, going right up against the wall and staring at the side, it's hard to tell the difference. But, if you're gonna actually spend the extra money for this television to get that better Evo panel, that gallery look is a really nice bonus. So LG did a couple new things for 2021 as well. This is a new remote control, very similar to the old one. Holds in the hand really nice, but it's less of a peanut shape, more of a standard oval. Still a whole bunch of buttons on here. It's a little bit complex compared to Samsung and Roku remotes. It does have the cool ability to flip back and forth. On the screen here, you can see I'm controlling it really easily. It's got a little cursor here, and we can even go back into the menu, and I'll show you what the home screen looks like. So LG redesigned the home page for 2021. This is brand new. This first time I've seen it on this television. I don't really love it. The other one kind of came up from the bottom here. It let you watch the rest of what you're going on without, obscuring the whole screen. This one takes up the whole screen like a lot of other home pages, and there's just a lot of stuff on here. You can see I'll scroll down. It's got, channels on here, a little shopping, some thumbnails from various apps. You can keep going. So pretty standard design actually with a lot of home pages on streaming devices. For example, it reminds me of maybe the Fire TV, NVIDIA Shield. But you know what? I really like that minimalist look on a television itself. It's not a huge deal. Oftentimes you're going to connect an external streaming device to this TV anyway. If you don't, you do get a good selection of apps. Plenty to see here. There's also an app store where you can download them. All the major apps are accounted for. They do have Dolby Vision, 4K, of course, streaming included with the built-in apps, so that's nice. You don't need to mess around with HDMI for those. Of course, you do have input selection here, so we can give HDMI. You can jump right to various devices that are connected. So another feature built into this TV is Alexa and Google Assistant. Both voice assistants are available. Yes, they're available on the remote by pressing a button, but one of the step-up features on the G1 is they have the far-field mic capability too, so you can say, Alexa, turn off the lamp. Got a little lamp here off camera. So of course you can turn that feature on and off if you don't want this TV to be always listening, but it does have a nice little extra there if you don't want to use a standalone speaker like an Echo or a Google Home. So in addition to those smart features, the connections on this TV, as you'd expect for a high-end OLED, are state-of-the-art. It has 4K 120Hz input on all 4 HDMI. It also has variable refresh rate, so those are the next-gen gaming-style features that you want with a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. The TV also has a ATSC 3.0 tuner, so yes, Once those next generation 4K over-the-air free broadcasts come to your neck of the woods, this TV is going to be ready. Of course, most people by that point, if you want to watch that, you can always buy an external tuner and connect it to any TV, but it's nice to have that built into the G1. I wasn't able to test it, those aren't available in my area yet, but maybe coming later this year. One of the nice things about the connections on the back of this TV, you can see in keeping with that wall-hugging style, this channel where you can kind of snake the HDMI and the power cables along the back of the TV, and then they spit out the bottom here for a clean installation. So let's get to the picture. OLED has better picture quality than LCD. We've seen that for the last few years. This TV is no exception. Its picture quality is phenomenal. OLED uses a self-emitting technology. That means each of those 4K pixels, all 8 million of them, are self-emitting. They're each their own little miniature lights, and the idea is that allows it to have excellent quality, even from off angle, and it has basically perfect black levels. So you get that combination of great dark areas, really nice bright white areas, and none of that blooming or off angle issues you get on a lot of LCD TVs. So what's so special about LG's new EVO panel? The company says that it has improved the pixel structure itself. So it's a new luminous element that improves the red, green, and blue pixels and also allows them to have a narrower wavelength. The idea, according to LG, is improved color and better brightness. So how does it look? Well, I'll tell you right now, the brightness improvement is pretty darn subtle. So I measured the G1 against last year's CX or C10 OLED TV, the best TV I tested last year. Slight improvement on the G1. Yes, it is a little bit brighter, but it's really not that much of a difference. Yes, it showed up in my measurements of white areas in particular, highlights and HDR material, but in a side-by-side comparison, I really had a hard time telling. Looking at the exact same material on each one, it was tough telling the difference. Both were a little bit brighter, a little more visibly brighter than the Vizio OLED that I had on hand to test, but again, all three looked really, really good. The G1 may be slightly better, but again, if you're looking for value, that step-down mainstream C-Series is going to give you better bang for your buck than the G1. That Neo panel really didn't prove to be a super game changer, but one of the things that I did like is the gaming features that they've added for 2021. Now, this TV, of course, has those connectivity extras, 4K 120 VRR that you'd expect, but LG also added a new game mode called Game Optimizer, which I really liked. It offers a few different picture presets just for gaming, and they're specified for example, first-person shooters, strategic games, RPGs. You can choose the ones that you like. There's also a screen there that shows you all of the gaming features in one place. You can see whether variable refresh rate is turned on. You can check for even an input lag setting that improves the responsiveness of the television relative to your controller. Again, an excellent overall gaming TV. Really looks spectacular in my tests. So, the LG G1, superb design, really slim gallery design. That new Neo panel, really, really nice, has excellent overall picture quality, arguably the best I've ever tested. However, it's really not a huge step compared to previous LG OLED displays and the less expensive version this year, I'm guessing. Haven't tested it yet, we'll see, but again, I think there's gonna be a really small gap between those. G1 is still an excellent television if you want to pay up for that style and if you really like to have the very, very, very best picture quality. But again, for most people, I'd be recommending saving a few $100s at least and getting the mainstream OLED. So that's a look at LG's G1, brand new for 2021 OLED television. I'm David Katzmeyer for CNET.